Breaking news. It seems like Hamas might have very well just broken the ceasefire again. Does that surprise anyone? Doesn't surprise me. Hamas, immediately after the declaration of the ceasefire, not even 24 hours have passed, have already went in the streets with thousands of its terrorists, started rounding up hundreds of Gazans that they accused as collaborator traitors or people who just opposed Hamas, and started executing, torturing people, shooting people in the head in the middle of the street just after a very short conversation when they come and say, "We decided that you are a traitor." Less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours, and they're already going around eliminating every possibility for a new regime that will come and take over the Palestinian, over Gaza, over a new authority that might come and be replacing Hamas. Now, remind you, the whole idea of the deal of ceasefire that the Trump administration was already celebrating, which I really hope that it comes, but we might have celebrated too early. The whole idea of that deal was to remove Hamas from power, take away their weapons, and give back Gaza to the Palestinian Authority, to some kind of a governing force that might do justice with its people and will ensure that October 7 will not happen, that the tragedy that came on the Palestinian people and the Israeli people will never happen again. Because let's be honest, innocent people do deserve to have a life, do deserve to have a future. And for the innocent people right now in Gaza and Palestine, there was some kind of a hope that maybe by the removing of Hamas and disarming Hamas, this will bring that ceasefire deal and this peace that they like to talk about, and even were demanding to get a Nobel Prize for peace for convincing a bunch of jihadists to trick them. Long story short, Hamas, not only that they started eliminating the opposition and executing people that are aligned with other factions in Gaza or people that oppose them, but also Hamas made a clear declaration: we are not going to give away our weapons, and we are going to remain as a force that will keep fighting against Israel. So, boy, oh boy, did that go south real fast. But I mean, let's be honest. Who believed a bunch of uneducated terrorists hiding in a cave, holding an entire nation and 20 live hostages behind, under gunpoint basically, and having their entire nation starve to death just so they can keep the reign of terror? Who believed that these guys will really stand up to the deal? I really hope that they would, because I want to see the hostages back. But you got to understand, they are living their dream right now. We're talking about a bunch of nobodies that right now are on the center of the media of the entire planet. More people are waiting to see what a bunch of jihadist, analphabet idiots in a cave are going to do than to go and watch Taylor Swift concert. Let's be honest about it. And these guys are sitting there feeling like we got Donald Trump on our finger, we got the whole world on our finger. We're going to make them believe, maybe, stay with me, maybe they thought, let's make them believe that there's a ceasefire. What we're going to do is we're going to take that at time, go outside, because no one from the IDF is going to attack us, because they cherish life so much that that will be the first time they won't really do anything, because they believe they're getting the hostages back. And we're going to use this opportunity to go and eliminate every remaining glimpse of hope for everlasting peace between Gaza and Israel. Execute, eliminate, kill them all. Less than 24 hours, guys, less than 24 hours. And they're already walking the street, killing their own people, executing them. I can't, I think the numbers last I've read were about 10 people who were executed by gunshot into their head in the middle of the street, and tens, if not even hundreds of people that are being tortured, beaten up, kidnapped for further interrogation, and probably will be executed again. This is happening, guys, right now. Just wanted to give you an update. We don't know what's going to be the status with the hostages. Are they going to stand to the end of their bargain of releasing the hostages? Here, let me show you some images. Let me show you some very crazy images. Nothing gory here, to make sure that this doesn't shock you too much. And also, they're dragging them in the streets from their legs, just dragging people into the middle of the street, and just like here, executing them in broad daylight for everyone to see. Look here. They shoot them in the legs usually. I've seen some of these videos. Now, mind you, all these people, miserable people in Gaza, the innocent ones among them, that maybe were hoping to see some kind of a glimpse of a hope for a better tomorrow, might have that dream stolen from them, because Hamas doesn't want that. Hamas actually just want to go and execute people and eliminate the opposition and remain. Because you have to understand, this is what Hamas wants. If there's someone that doesn't want the ceasefire to end, undoubtedly, it's Hamas. Hamas is the main force that doesn't want the ceasefire to end. He wants the IDF to stop killing him. That's the leader of one of the leaders of Hamas, Barghouti. They want the killing them to stop. They want the weakening them, their armed forces, to stop. They want the losing of the grip over Gaza to stop. So when they say ceasefire, they don't want the war to stop. They say that. They don't hide it. They come and say, we're going to keep doing October 7 again. We're not giving our weapon. I mean, they just said that. We're not going to give our weapon, and we're not going to abandon our armed opposition to go and basically kill all the Jews. Less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. And it might have been the biggest hoax that they've pulled so far, literally convincing planet Earth. I mean, Donald Trump went already to celebrate a supposedly, hopefully, Nobel Prize Award for bringing peace. His Secretary of War just went and, shook the hand with the Qataris and says, we're going to let you build a training base for your Air Force in America. You were part of this everlasting peace deal between Israel and Gaza. I mean, people were jumping their guns so fast. It's amazing what people do just for the sake of glory and to be written in the books of history as the one who did it. Now, don't get me wrong. I want it to happen more than anything. I want this war to end, and I want every single one of these hostages to come back, and I want every child in Palestine to stop suffering. Every child and every innocent person. Non-innocent, I don't care. Let them suffer. Innocent people, I want them to stop suffering. But by letting Hamas play the music for us and just dancing to its music, it's not going to happen. Less than 24 hours, and they're already executing people, dragging them in the streets, torturing them, killing them. Like I said, some of these executions were reported to have taken minutes. Immediately, they ran out, no airplanes in the air. IDF really, stood beside his part of the deal and stopped killing Hamas. That's our chance, boys. We tricked Donald Trump. Maybe we tricked the Qataris. Maybe the Qataris were in on it. Maybe they were in on it. I doubt that they will publicly play such a stupid game. I don't think the Qataris, despite how much money they gave Donald Trump, I don't think they want to piss him off. I mean, they gave him a lot of money, so it's going to be, they probably have quite a lot of leeway to piss the president off after what they give to America. But I think themselves probably don't want to piss him off. And I feel like Hamas is just sitting there laughing their ass off, and Ahmed and Abdul and Mustafa and Jamil are just sitting and saying, Ahmed, see, I told you, I make the whole planet dance on my finger. Everybody, even Donald Trump, Bibi Netanyahu, see, I told them ceasefire, everybody stopped. Now is their chance. I control the world. I am the captain now, if you've seen the Captain Phillips movie. So I am the jihadist now. That's exactly what they're doing there, looking at the world and laughing as a bunch of losers, perverts, hiding in a cave like cowards behind women and children, holding innocent hostages at gunpoint, sitting there and thinking to themselves, this is the moment of our life. We're never going to have so much glory like right now. More people are going to watch what we're doing than they will watch Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, and someone grande. I think there's a musician named something grande. I don't know what. You know what I'm talking about. I don't really know a lot of celebrities, never cared about them too much. And here they are, these losers, having the moment of their life and the whole world jumping to their fingers. But they go outside and they immediately declare, after start gathering people and killing them in the streets, there will not be any ceasefire. In other words, they're saying Hamas is not going to give away their weapons, Hamas is not going to surrender, and Hamas is going to keep fighting. If that wasn't a core part of that deal, Hamas giving away the weapons, surrendering, and get the heck out of there. That was part of the deal. I mean, we're talking the hostages, that's an obvious. So none of these, Hamas doesn't want to surrender, that wants to give away the weapon, and doesn't want to get out of there. Actually, they're doing the exact opposite. And that exact opposite is they're going and eliminating every opposition in Gaza by executing them, and also eliminating every even hope that there'll ever be another ruling power that will rule over Gaza. They want to stay as the terrorizing power over Gaza, and they're establishing that dominance right now, less than 24 hours right now. Hundreds of people around in the streets, thousands of Hamas operatives running around, gathering people, executing them live, gunpoints in the head, in the street, on their knees, happening right now. Remind you, if anything was part of that deal, that they were so too quick to rejoice and celebrate that there's an everlasting peace between Israel and Gaza, and we should be giving Nobel Prizes to all kind of leaders around the world. One part of that was that everybody understood that Hamas cannot be a ruling power over Gaza. They need to go. Even the Qataris, allegedly, unless they play the game here to trick Donald Trump. We never know. But even they came and said, yes, Hamas is not going to be the ruling power. We demand that it's going to be the Palestinians, but it's going to have to be some kind of force that will be fair to the people and ensure that October 7 will not happen again, and this kind of suffering will not come on the Gazans again. So Hamas out of the picture is like a no-brainer to the ceasefire deal. Now, they knew when they said, yes, we agree. It was clear. It was written right there. Here you go. That's the deal. Do you agree? Yes, we do. That's why everybody came to Egypt. Everybody, Qatar, Turkey, Egypt, America, everybody, Israel, everybody went to Egypt. Everybody gathered together. Hamas from Qatar came to Egypt, sitting there like, you didn't assassinate me this time. Here, I'm still alive. Do you agree to this? Yes, we agree. Of course, agree. Until Monday. First 24 hours, then until Monday. We get you everybody. Then we don't really know where some of the bodies are, Are you seeing the patterns here? I mean, yes, I was a negotiator in the army, and yes, the bread of butter is negotiation, especially for counterterrorism negotiation, is to buy time. Literally, when you are a negotiator for counterterrorism, one of your main purposes, you might like it or not, because many times you actually want to save the kidnappers even, or at least make sure they go to jail but don't, die, is to buy as much time as possible for the SWAT team to come and take them all down. So you need to stall and stall and stall. That's literally your bread and butter as a negotiator, to buy as much time, get connections, get a personal connection with the target, and maybe try to convince him to follow what you want him to do. So Hamas, yes, we agree. 24 hours, yeah, of course. Everything, yeah, everything. No weapons, we leave, hostages are back, you just keep us alive. Okay, we agree. Khalas, finish the war. Then, we don't find all the bodies. Then comes, we can't 24 hours. We need until Monday. Okay, Monday. Donald Trump calls the parents. Monday, you get your hostage Monday. And then suddenly they just go outside, start shooting and killing every opposition, because they would have never had this chance. They would have never had this chance to clean Gaza from every opposition to Hamas unless a ceasefire deal was done. And then, while this is happening, executing, killing in the streets, they go and they say, everything that was written here, we're not going to do. Zubbi alaykum, we're not going to do that. We're not going to give away a weapon. We're not going to give away the whole of Gaza, and we're going to keep fighting Israel. That was the whole deal. That was literally the whole deal of the negotiation. And, let's see. Honestly, at this point, I only care about seeing the hostages back. Give us back the hostages. Let's keep talking after that. Give us back these 20 live, innocent humans that you stole. Let's talk after that. You want to talk, you want to fight, bring it on. But give us back the hostages. So I really, really hope to see them back. I hope this is not going to fall down under the carpet. But like I said, back and forth, looking at the picture right now, it looks like they've tricked the world again. And it looks like people might have jumped their guns when they went to celebrate Nobel Prize awards and all kind of promises, and made declarations and shook hand and gave Qatar a military training base in the United States and all kind of amnesties. Let's talk about it. Let's be not devil advocate, let's be the angel's advocate. I think that probably will make more sense. Ceasefire. Israel doesn't kill every one of the Hamas, doesn't eliminate, let it live. But Hamas runs away. Force comes, take over Gaza, and start together working on giving some authoritarian power for ruling power over Gaza from the Palestinian Authority. Meanwhile, international inspections start checking that the education system, everything there is taught properly to make sure that this will never come back again on them. I mean, look, when Nazi Germany fell down, the world made it very clear that the education system in Germany needs to be tackled and that it's taught properly, the history. What a terrible loss the Germans have suffered. And undoubtedly, they lost the war. Germany was devastated, desolated after the war. And what the Russians did to the Germans, to their men, children, and women was unheard of. Unheard of. And, America with their bombers made it very, very clear that, and Britain, Germany lost. And then they taught it in school that not only that they undoubtedly lost, but also that they lost because they were so evil. And they brought this destruction on themselves and on others. And that was the criteria for building a better Germany. Undoubtedly, there's no other criteria. So let's say the idea is Hamas goes away and we start rebuilding Gaza to make sure that Gaza will become one day a better country, not the goat poop hole that it is right now with lots of goat lickers and radical jihadists that read only one book and want to kill everyone around them. Even that basic scenario that I just said is broken by Hamas. Even that. So tell me who wants the war to continue and who doesn't. And I'll ask you even a more important question. More important question. Where is the genocide? How come the side that is being genocided is the one that keeps breaking the ceasefires? Does that make sense to you? Or am I the only one that is like, okay, I don't know. By the way, less than 24 hours, and they're already executing people in the streets. Their own people by Hamas. Gazans. Without even a proper trial, just going, grabbing them, shooting them in the head and moving, just to show of force that we are still the power here and no one is going to rejoice. It kind of reminds me of the story of Herod's, actually. If you know the story of King Herod's, crazy story, when he was about to die in his dying bed, he was a very evil king over the kingdom of Israel, of Judea. And he was dying he built a palace inside of a mountain called the Herodion. And laying in his bed, he told his servants, the day I die, I want you to go all over the land and kill, I think, the firstborn or the father in every family. I don't remember exactly who to kill, but to kill someone in every family. And the servants asked him why. And he said, because I want everybody to cry when I'm dead, to mourn. He knew that everybody's going to celebrate. He knew that he was very evil. Hamas know that they're very evil. Hamas know that they're actually using their own people as human shields. Hamas know that they're terrorizing Gaza. Hamas know that they're the one who stole the hope for peace for Gaza forever. And they know that they did that for a very clear reason, because they are religious, fanatic zealots who believe that this is the world of God, to go and kill people and to promote Islam and to destroy the Jews and the Christians and the world. So for them, to sacrifice their own nation means nothing. They know in their eyes, this is the work of God. So they know that the people who they will call are the unbelievers, the cowards, that don't want to go and die on our name. That's how crazy they are. They're going to rejoice. We're not going to let them. We're going to go and right now start killing them in the streets and remind them we are still in power. Don't start being happy, Habibi. Nobody's happy. No baklawas. We give baklawas only when we kill the Jews. You don't give baklawas when Hamas is losing. No. We tricked Donald Trump. We tricked the world. And here we go. Here we go. Less than 24 hours, guys, and Hamas is already breaking the ceasefire. Again, I don't know what's going to happen with the hostages. If you ask me, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and I hope everyone will come back, for Hamas to break the ceasefire and to give away, break the ceasefire, but I mean like break the agreement. We're not going to surrender. We're going to keep our weapons. And in the same time, to give away all the hostages, from their perspective, and it's very understandable, it's a death sentence. Because Israel would literally go and obliterate them, annihilate them, unless more money will be involved and there will see more deals coming in a bizarre way from Qatar and all kind of allies of Qatar right now. Maybe that, but seriously, guys, I'm very, very worried for the hostages. And I'm very worried that this might have very well been a trick of Hamas again, a bunch of losers in a cave, that this is their time to shine, where they're literally, imagine someone by the name of Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud Mahmoud Hamoud. 4 guys, same name, different ways to say it. Very original. Sitting in a cave. That person is not educated. He's not very smart. He's very animalistic, very aggressive and evil, but not very intelligent. And he's feeling right now that the whole planet is dancing to his flute. I say ceasefire, everybody gets excited. They're sitting right now probably cracking their ass. Look, Donald Trump is asking for a Nobel Prize. If only he knew what's going to happen in 5 hours. Well, might have been. This might be a real scenario. I'm not joking. Trust me, I've met these jihadists. I fought with them. I know how to think inside out. I've literally spent a lifetime taking them down. I know how they think. They can be sitting right now laughing their tusik off, thinking, look how the West jumps to our flute. See, we needed a break to go and eliminate every possible even chance of a hope forever to have Gaza without Hamas. Not going to happen. Now, also imagine this. Bad people, very bad and unmoral, ungodly people. Would they rather see the world burn down than give away power? Is that something we ever heard before, seen before in the history of mankind? A lot. History of mankind is full of bad, evil people who did very bad, evil stuff that hurt many, many innocent people. And to think that Hamas will not hesitate to burn down Gaza just not to give away its power is very naive, and it shows an extreme, deep misunderstanding of the Middle East. I wish I was wrong, but honestly, so far, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the shoulder, I think I have 100% success rate of actually reading this political map. From Jolani, when everybody's celebrating, I said from the beginning, terrorist, guys, terrorist, Al-Qaeda, terrorist, terrible. No, he have a suit. Look at him. He got a suit. He have a nice beard. From the innocent people of Gaza, from starting to hear voices of peace in Gaza the moment Israel will start crushing Hamas, from starting to hear excuses. I've literally anticipated Bollywood before. I should have invested in stocks in Fafu and Bollywood, Bollywood is Palestinian Hollywood. I should have invested in stocks. I think I could have been a seed investor. I saw that coming before it came. Soon they're gonna start telling you all kind of stories and make up stories about dead babies and dead children and literally recycle the same. Not saying there isn't dead people, but you can see that they're playing over it and they're gonna start. Bam! Happened. Now, why am I saying that? I'm not smarter than the CIA. I'm not smarter than the advisors sitting around Donald Trump. I know that I'm not smarter than them. There is very skilled, very smart people there. I'm not smart for many, many people that are in key decision-making positions. I know I'm not. And if I have 3 IQ more than them or 3 IQ less, that doesn't make the difference. So how is it that again and again we are letting a bunch of goat-bearded jihadists, uneducated idiots in a cave, perverts, to make the entire world dance in the flute while they're laughing, they're tusing off, sitting and watching while we just do what they tell us to do again and again. And what are they doing now? Walking in the streets. For those of you who joined right now, and they already started executing their own people. Every chance of hope of any possible alternative for Hamas in Gaza, they're eliminating right now. Big families, killing them. People who went and helped disturbed food to the people and not gave the food, to be stolen by Hamas. People who went really and gave aid, killing them. As I've heard, and that was when I started this live, there was at least 10 live executions, gunpoint to the head in the street, where they dragged them by the feet, put them in the middle of the street, shoot them in the head, and move and grab the next one. Meanwhile, they went and raided and arrested hundreds and went with more than 1,000 of their operatives, probably way more. You see, they said we're going to have to call for a ceasefire. Let's trick everyone. Let's agree to whatever they say. Just say yes. Mustafa, just say yes. Your job, Mustafa Abdul Jabbar, your job is just to say yes. Yes, of course, of course, of course. Yes, 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 yes. Of course. So he did his job. Sat there, of course, yes, yes. Hamas surrender? Yeah, surrender. You gave away the hostages? Yes. Give hostages, all of them. Also the dead ones? Yes, dead ones. You give away the weapons? Yes, Hamas give. No more weapon. Yes. You, and everybody's like shocked, like, wow, they're saying yes to everything. That should have been already a sign that something fishy is happening. And Hamas will agree to go and leave Gaza? Yeah, surrender. Like, that's like a bank robber sitting outside of a bank and saying, like, with a mask on his face, you're not going to rob the bank, right? No. Why do you have the flashlight? Oh, no robbing bank. Why do you have this to break the window? Like, oh, no, nothing, just you. Promise not to rob. Yes. Okay, he said he promised. That's literally it. Like, why would you believe them? So Mustafa Abdul Mahmoud Jabbar managed to convince the world that Hamas is going to agree to a ceasefire. And the biggest brains on planet Earth, from the biggest nations in the world, literally the nations that will one day maybe colonize Mars, sat there and said, okay, we believe them. Give me Nobel Prize. I believe him. Guys, I did it. Give me Nobel Prize. Yalla. Nobel Prize. Now. I want Nobel Prize now. And then his Secretary of War, maybe played too many times God of War and PlayStation, I don't know what, sits there, everlasting deal. Qatar helped us. Qatar, great guys. Here, you can get an Air Force base in the US. We'll give you that. You got an Air Force base and an immunity card. Get out of jail card. They gave Qatar a get out of jail card. If someone attacks you, attacks us. Literally. I'm not making this up. We got peace deal, guys. That's it. Hamas agreed to ceasefire, and these are the terms. Agreed to all of them. Less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. That's what's happening. Already. Rounding up all their people in the streets, killing all the opposition. They got the chance. You agreed to the ceasefire. Is that what they did to us? Oh my God. Hamas, you guys are naughty. You're naughty. You guys are very naughty. King Julian, Madagascar. You're like, oh, you played us. And then they even add, by the way, we're not giving the weapons. But you can't stay in power. Yeah, we're not giving the weapons. What do you mean stay in power? We are going to kill anyone that might try to take power from us. No one is going to be here. We're going to be the only one with power here. That's what they're doing right now. Killing them all. And think about, why would they do it so fast? Why would they go so fast to do that? Try to think. And again, I'm just shooting from my hips right now, guys. Shooting from my hips. I was getting ready to go to bed. Shooting from my hips. Ideas here. Why would they do it so fast? Immediately run outside and grab, start killing people in the street. Not even martial, just not even asking questions. Come, boom in the head, start killing people. Unless they know they don't have a lot of time. Don't have a time for what? Until someone calls their bluff. Did they also say that they don't want to give away their weapons? Yes, sir, they said that. Imagine that Donald Trump is sitting right now and someone just runs to him, sir, I think you need to hear this. Sorry, I'm just having a little talking to Macron and to the guys from Qatar right now. No. Hang over Qatar for a second. Listen to us for a second. No, they gave me a private jet. No, I know. You're going to still have the private jet. Okay, tell me what happened. So the ceasefire, immediately after, they ran out, started killing people in the streets. Okay, they do that all the time. Yeah, they kind of started killing all the people that were, supporting, giving aid to their own people, and leaders from different families of Gaza, different tribes, different factions, people that made opposition to them, people that might have been options to actually be the ruling power after them. Anything else? Yeah, they also said that they don't want to give away their weapons, but that was part of the deal. They promised. Yeah, well, it's not over yet. They also said that they're not gonna give away power over Gaza. What? That was the deal. I'm supposed to get a Nobel Prize. I'm getting my speech ready. Yeah, about that. They gave the Nobel Prize to another lady. But anyway, for what? Yeah. Let's talk about this later. She said she likes you. She said you should have got it. Okay, I can talk about this. But not only that, they also decided that they're gonna keep fighting Israel. So literally, what was? And then Trump is sitting there like, "Can you call the Secretary of War?" Yeah. Why? Call him right now, because I think he's just making a press announcement. He's giving the Qatar a gift and saying that, thank you for helping us achieve this everlasting peace. Call him now before he makes a fool out of himself, please. It's kind of too late. He already did that. I was about to say Scheiße, but I'm not going to say that. That's a very nasty German word. It's not that nasty, but anyway, you get my point. Why are we falling for these dimwits again and again, letting a bunch of goat lickers from the Middle East, uneducated fools, radical jihadists who read only one book in their life and can barely read, perverts, to dictate for us how to manage planet Earth? I went here on a rant. Like I said, I was supposed to go to sleep. I went here and I just talked. No script ready. It's just what I read right now. I want to go back 1 second and just say again, and maybe we pray together here, each one in your own heart. Close your eyes, don't close your eyes, think it, say it out loud. But to pray to our God that all these hostages will come back, all the live ones. Please, God, before the ceasefire is broken again, completely, and before the war starts again. I can't even imagine, God forbid, after all the joy of the family, promises were made. All the families of the hostages were staying, by the way, in the US. They were, I think, in Washington. And they were waiting, because that's the place they wanted to go and meet with Trump every second, get an update, put pressure, because they knew that the most important player right now in bringing the hostages back is America and it's President Trump. Not all these bought off jihadist supporters, leaders in Europe. President Trump and his cabinet, they were the only ones who were really, really trying and working. And I'll give them that. Before them, nah. How do you call this? Obama and not Obama. Biden. See, I don't even remember his name because he was just mumbling and walking around. Biden and Kamala, they know. No, they would have not done almost anything. They would have probably they did pressure Israel to do every wrong mistake, and Israel never listened to them and actually ended up saving hostages. Like literally, they told Israel, don't go there. And Israel went there, rescued the hostage. Don't go there. Israel went there, took down Muhammad Def. Don't go there. Israel went there, killed Sinwar. So like every advice they give was wrong. So them, no. So undoubtedly, President Trump and his administration have been great advocates to bring back the hostages. Undoubtedly. I'm not going to take that away from them. Back to the families. The families are sitting there. They get the call. We've seen that call. I've made a video about it where you see, like literally, one of the American delegation person there, I don't know his name, is standing there, gets a phone call from Donald Trump. So he must have been, someone important high up. And President Trump talks to them, and the families are screaming out of joy. Your children are coming back. You'll see them on Monday. So they packed their stuff and flew to Israel. I have friends of mine, Yon Lagardia and Traveling Tal, other guys, they're actually Nemo from the Nemo box, the CrossFit guy. Amazing people. They're actually right now in the hospitals, helping set the hospitals, the beds, filling it with flowers, filling it with books that these hostages love to read, things that reminds them of their life, of home, just getting ready to set the hospitals and get them ready so they come and they feel the whole love and joy of Israel. Their families are waiting for them. And if that doesn't happen, my God, I don't know. I would just want to read the news, I'm sorry that I'm doing this live, but I want to read the news. Maybe no. All I'm hearing is thousands of terrorists all around Gaza. Hamas is angry on the identity of the people being released. So they're actually angry of the terrorists that Israel is releasing for them. They don't want to agree to that. That's what they're, throwing. That's probably going to be the excuse. 250 lifelong prisoners, like people who sentenced for life. I've read, some of these terrorists, what they did, like killed the mother with her pregnant woman, killed her in the car with a baby. Someone who did that in the streets just went and threw a Molotov bottle on a car, burned them all alive. He's been released. Someone who was literally in charge of a suicide bombing that went and blew up in a bus. Like he's been talking like serious terrorists. And Israel is releasing them. But Hamas is saying, we don't like the list. We want bigger fish. Like, they want this guy, Barghouti. They want him and others. So they want like the biggest, they want someone to replace Sinwar, basically. And they say if the list doesn't change, there's going to be a big explosion or big, the negotiations is going to go to the drain. More than 500,000 people went back to northern Gaza. Hamas is spreading already his commanders, making them governors of small areas. So you are the governor of this neighborhood. You are the governor. You are in charge to go and torture everyone there and kill whoever needs to be killed. And, make sure they understand that we are in power. So he's already sending his leaders to go and govern over Gaza. So Hamas is like not only not showing signs of actually surrendering, he's actually doing the exact opposite in broad daylight. Sending his people, you're there, that's your neighborhood, start recruiting. So look what Hamas did here. Again, coming from my hips, Hamas not only that fooled the world and made fool out of all of us, he's already making sure that he have more human shields. That's interesting. More than 500,000 people went back to their war zone. More human shields. More influence. More in that culture. Power and respect. Show them who's the boss. And by the way, they're actually being cheered. They're actually being cheered by a lot of the Gazans. It's not like everybody is innocent and poor there. A lot of the civilians in Gaza are the ones that are ratting their friends and their neighbors. You know, crazy, crazy. Torres asking, what do I think about Trump and all of this? I need to think, man. I need to think a lot of things. I need to be careful with my answers right now. I'm a bit emotional. Let's keep reading. In Israel, they still think that the release of the hostages is going to come still on Monday, maybe very early in the morning, but also ready that maybe Hamas will surprise everyone and start releasing people before Donald Trump comes to Israel. Okay. Thousands of terrorists are already gathering all around Gaza. They still believe that all the hostages will be given back in one batch. One of the demands was also don't do these parades and these shows. Like they did the parade over, dead bodies, basically, in a coffin. Just give back the hostages. Anyway, guys, I took enough of your time. Thank you for coming here. I'm going to keep you updated. If I'll hear more stuff about this, I'll keep you updated. I really, really hope that we get to see these hostages, and I really hope that we get to see Gaza free of Hamas. And I really hope that we get to see the people in Gaza choosing life over death, choosing love over hate, choosing science and education over ignorance and radicalism. Basically doing 180 degrees flip. 180. There's some points in life that you're so wrong that almost everything that you will do differently will make your life better. I once gave that tip to my sister when she was 14 with her best friend, Nelly and Nusi. And I came and I told them. That was a letter to my sisters. We're going to finish with that. I got in trouble for that. Both moms, her mom and my mom, didn't like that. But came and I told them, Nelly and Nusi, Nuli and Nessie, I kind of laugh with their names. You are right now 14 years old, meaning that statistically, generations before you have proven at this age, you are basically temporarily insane when it comes to emotional decisions. So if you come and you see a guy and you think he's cute and you decide that that's the guy I want to date, because he's 25, he got tattoos, and he's been to jail only twice, but I can change him. 99% you're going to be wrong, and he's going to be the worst guy that you can date. So here's an easy trick to help you be right. The easiest way. You don't even need to think how. Just whenever you think to do something, do the exact opposite. So if you see a guy, you say, I like this guy, run away from him. But if you see a guy, it's like, he likes me, but I don't know, I just want us to be friends. That's the guy. Marry him right now. Put a ring on his finger right now. Marry him. Marry him. He's going to be a good husband. He's probably going to be the best guy for you. Marry him. Yeah, I don't know, but he's just too kind and too nice. And he's not like dangerous and spicy. Marry him. Marry him. And they didn't listen to me. They got angry. They cried. They went to my mom and her mom, and I got in trouble. They both yelled at me and told me never write our daughters. There's my best friends. Never tell little girls these things, that they're temporarily insane and that they have no clue what they're looking for in life. And I said, I still think I was right. Had to run away from a few flip-flops. Druze people, dodged, ran away. Everything was fine. Later on, Nelly and Nusi came to me and told me, wow, if we would have listened to you, would have had way less scars over our hearts. So sometimes there is situations where you're so wrong that almost practically any decision that you make the other way will be a good one. And the Gazan people, Hamas, Gaza, the Palestinians, are so wrong in so many levels and layers. Financially, strategically, military, economically, morally, theologically, so wrong that everything that they will do 180 degrees will probably make their life better. So we're going to finish with that. Stay safe, and like I said, I'll keep you updated. And by the way, anyone who sticked until here, if you don't mind doing the like, share, keep pushing this channel so we can keep growing. want to take a time here to appreciate Esther. Thank you so much, Esther. God bless you. That's very kind of you. And Urian Meyer gifted 10 Mansu Ashkar memberships. Great. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to being members of my channel. Anyone who wants also to get more updated, go and check the channel. You can be a member. You can, join Patreon or any other way to support this channel, or do the subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, and all these things. YouTube just shut down Aviv Yamini's live stream from Tel Aviv. Really interesting. Someone said maybe they got a command from Iran not to give up the hostages. Hey, man, it's again, here's another crazy thing. Either they tricked Qatar, and Qatar literally had no clue, or Qatar was in on this. Both are very interesting points. Think about it. If they tricked Qatar, it means that somewhere down the chain there's new leadership that doesn't give a goat piss about Qatar in the world, and they're just they want to stay in power. Either the real religious zealots. Here's the thing with believers. Real believers. That's what Charlie Kirk was so inspiring also, and I'm not comparing him to these goat lickers. But real believers cannot be bought, cannot be stirred, cannot be bent. They have their faith, they stick to it. Cannot be bribed. On the good side and also on the bad side. So if the ones that are left there are real believers of this demonic ideology, then they're going to play anyone they can. They don't want to leave. They don't want to leave power. They want to stay in power. And maybe they played Qatar, because just to think that Qatar will risk the chance of angering Donald Trump. You see, if it was Biden or Kamala, they will do whatever they want. Literally, they don't care. They don't respect these leaders. They laugh at them. They do whatever they want. They don't respect them. That's what they don't understand. They don't respect because you're perceived as weak. If they would be strong, they respect them. If the Democrats will bring a strong leader, he will get respect. Undoubtedly, it's America. America is feared, is strong. It's the leadership. So to think that Qatar would risk, for the sake of Hamas, to get the wrath of Donald Trump in America, I don't think so. I don't think they're there. Another point that came to mind, actually, is maybe they're pulling that stunt again because Aziz did not get the memo. It's always Aziz. Maybe Aziz just got ceasefire and he didn't listen. He was snoozing. All the time, Allah Akbar. Fatima, ceasefire. He runs outside, killing people in the street. Allahu Akbar, and then he'll be like, "No, ya Mahmoud, Qatar, what are you doing?" And they're chasing him. Aziz, you idiot! Like Leeroy Jenkins, Aziz style. If you ever Leeroy Jenkins, let's play a game. Who knows who's Leeroy Jenkins? Come on, guys. Someone here. Leeroy. Ainora, you know who that is? Come on. First one. Leeroy. Kadima. No one knows. I'm gonna wait for at least 10 seconds. But don't say I do, Torah. Who? How do I know you do? Okay, someone is. I think the Bracent is probably more in the way. Which game is it? Which game? Come on, Leah. You don't know. Come on. I can't believe Leah. You don't know that. We're gonna have to educate you. Which game did that game? After this video, go and watch it. It's a short video. One of the most famous videos, one of the most famous YouTubes on the face of this earth. If aliens will come to Earth, they will hear about Leeroy Jenkins before they will hear about Donald Trump. I'm not kidding. World of Warcraft. Here you go, guys. Here you go. Ding, ding. World of Warcraft. So there was a big raid that some bunch of gamers were waiting for to do World of Warcraft. The big boss were all waiting and talking strategy and I don't know what. And then one player logs in. He just joined the game. He doesn't know what's happening. And he thinks it's funny, and he shouts, Leeroy Jenkins, and he just goes shouting his name right into the battle, and all hell goes loose. And everybody, they prepared for like months maybe for these raids. Trust me, some of these gamers, they prepared months for that. So Aziz maybe just pulled the Leeroy Jenkins and just went, Allahu Akbar, everybody, Aziz. And he's going, and now Qatar, Turkey, everybody is like, what the guy? Gayaka, I've seen you on Godzilla. You all went Gayaka. You know, Donald Trump is going to come and just kick our asses. I don't know what. Maybe that's what happened. And maybe they will call them back and tell them, that's my man. Here we go. Neverwinter Nights is actually the best RPG game ever. The most authentic one to real D&D rules. Literally, role-playing games. If anyone want to play role-playing classic with good PvP, PvE, RP, probably no one understands what I'm talking about. We'll talk about this later, Neely. Neverwinter Nights, guys, the best game ever. So, if they might be calling right now and saying, hey, calm down, guys, we're going with a deal. And then Ahmed Mahmoud Mustafa, and Ibrahim Abdul Jabbar will come and call Aziz, slap, shasheta, send him, no goats for you for 1 week, But no, 1 month. One more word, Aziz, no goats, no donkeys even. And he runs away. And maybe the ceasefire. That's another alternative that I haven't seen in the beginning of this video. Okay? Just to leave it out there. But anyway, guys, let's hope it's a Leeroy Jenkins, it's an Aziz Abdul Jabbar, and that the ceasefire is going to be held, and that we'll see all the hostages. And after that, let all hell go loose on them. I couldn't care less about Hamas and their minions. Stay safe, and I'll keep you updated. And thank you for anyone who came here. How long until next October 7 after the surrender? If it's up to them, tomorrow, man. It's like Bibi Netanyahu once said. It's a very smart, thing that he said. And he said a lot of smart things. He's a smart guy. He said, if Israel lay down their weapons today, there's no Israel tomorrow. If our enemies lay down their weapons today, there's peace tomorrow. So if it's up to them, October 7 can happen today if they could have. If they could have, they would have. I keep saying that. If they could have, they would have. All right, guys. I'll keep you updated if I hear anything else. I'm going to jump right live in if something happens. So stay tuned. See you next time. And like I said, by the way, I'm starting a new live show on my channel, which I'm going to call the Three Monkeys. That's a name that I thought, feel free to suggest names. I think the Three Monkeys, because no one will have an excuse anymore to say, I did not hear, did not see, I did not speak, or it was not spoken. We're living in a day and time today that there must be accountability. We're so flooded with so much information that if you truly want to know the truth, you have all the tools at your disposal. And part of this tool set is humility, to know when you don't know. It's a very important tool. You never been to Israel? You never seen a checkpoint in your life? You never really talked to an IDF soldier or to a Hamas terrorist in your life? Never. Then probably you might not know what's going on in the Middle East. It's that simple. Don't be Dave Smith. Don't be Tucker Carlson. Yeah, with his weird possessed laugh. Don't be Candace Owens or I don't know what. Go and check. Go and talk. And be humble enough to know I don't know. And if you don't know, that don't go wild, bat, cocky, crazy on things that you're not involved in. So Three Monkeys, I'm gonna call this show Three Monkeys, and I'm gonna try to do once a day a live video to give you update about numerous stuff that are happening around. So feel free to come and stay tuned. I will try to aim it to be for American morning times, which is my kind of afternoon times. It's a perfect time for me because my kid is at school and I have some time, and also it's a good time for people waking up in America. Good morning, America, while driving in their cars, and they can listen to it. But if you enjoy this content, feel free to promote it. But yeah, Three Monkeys. If anyone here is an artist design and want to help me design a nice logo for that, Three Monkeys, by all means, goes. Pedro Sanchez. Someone is saying Pedro Sanchez all the time. What is going on with this Pedro Sanchez? Am I missing on an inside joke? Anyway, see you next time, guys.